What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Scouting the Fins right here on the 3 Yards Per Carry Podcast Network, also part of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. As always, if you guys have not already, go ahead and sign up for OnlyFins on Discord. Go to discord.gg/OnlyFins. Make sure you join on a laptop or a desktop instead of the Apple App Store. They'll charge you an extra dollar. It's $2.99 to read only, $4.99 for all access from Alfredo, CK, Simon, myself, Coach, and Kyle Krabs of Locked On Dolphins. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and join OnlyFins. That's discord.gg/OnlyFins. Joining me today is Alfredo Arteaga of 3 Yards Per Carry. Alf, it's draft week, baby.
We made it, man. It's been a thousand mock drafts. I only did one, and I tried to do one
the other day.
Okay, I tried to do last night. I tried to do what I call killing an ant with a sledgehammer, and I was unable to pull it off. Meaning, I was going to double up at 11 and 30 at the same position with guys that I wanted. Couldn't do it. The best I could do is Ruben Bain, and TJ Parker would never get to me at 30. Then I would get Caleb Downs, and I couldn't get the cornerback that I wanted. I couldn't get Colton Hood at 30 either. So I don't know if the Dolphins are going to be able to kill ants with a sledgehammer in this year's draft. But it's going to be interesting because we get to try to do that here. Or at least we'll debate it if the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, for sure. You and I are going to be doing a 7-round mock draft together, and we'll be debating through all 11, 12, maybe some trade back 13 picks that we could procure for the Dolphins potentially. But if you listen to the last Scouting the Fins episode, Coach and I were actually able to double up in a 3-round mock draft at edge, cornerback as well. And we were on the verge of doubling up on wide receivers had we done a 5 or 7-round mock draft, but we did not get the opportunity. But I do think we might be able to double up, not necessarily in the first round, but maybe the 3rd and 4th rounds for sure. All right, let's go ahead. We'll be using the PFF mock draft simulator. As always, the Dolphins pick number 11 and number 30. We'll be using PFF's big board, and we'll start the draft. I mean, Alf, I think we already know who the first pick is going to be, but it's been pretty contested what the Jets are going to do. Do they go Arvell Reese? Do they go David Bailey? Do they surprise everyone and take Ruben Bain or Sonny Styles? Who knows what happens? All right, here we go.
Let's try right here.
Oh, looks like they got Ruben Bain at number 2.
All right, so what happened here? Let's recap the first round up to pick 11. What do we have?
We got Mendoza, Bain at 2, Reese at 3, Bailey at 4, Jeremiah Love at 5, Caleb Downs at 6, Sonny Styles at 7, Francis Mauigoa at 8, Cardinal Tate at 9, and Spencer Fano at 10. Remaining on the board at number 11 for the Dolphins, you have Mansour Delane, Dylan Thieneman, Monroe Freeling, Kenyon Sadiq, Makai Lemon, Vega Ione, Jermon McCoy, CJ Allen, Tyson, and Akeem Mezdor. And we have 7 trade back options.
Well, I'll tell you right away, this is as bad as it can go for the Dolphins on Thursday because I've been saying it for 4 months almost. The 2 Ohio State guys, neither of which I think have any chance at being there. And I'm not counting Arvell Reese in there. It's Caleb Downs, it's Sonny Styles. Neither one has a chance. And the 2 Hurricanes, Francis Mauigoa and Ruben Bain Jr., they're all gone. I'm inclined to trade down because I just don't like. Look, I'm not a big fan of Mansour Delane. I've said it many, many times before. I don't think this regime is going to be in on a cornerback that doesn't have a lot of length. So this is a clear trade down scenario. There's only one possibility here, and that's Ione. And if you're in on him, you want to take him here, we can. If not, I'd be inclined to trade down.
I'm good with trading down to either 13 or 16 over here. I think I might trade down with the Rams to pick up an additional third round pick, number 93. I wonder if we could get 61 to get that back end of the second round pick, make it 2 second round picks for Miami. Let's see if this works. And it does. Picked up an extra second round pick right here, Alf. Let's see who the Rams pick at number 11. Dylan Thieneman for the Los Angeles Rams at 11 and Jermon McCoy at number 12. So the Dolphins still have the option of Mansour Delane, Monroe Freeling, Kenyon Sadiq, Makai Lemon, and Vega Ione.
Vega Ione, I think, is clear here.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pick up Vega Ione out of Penn State. Let's see how the rest of the board falls right here. Mesidor is gone at pick number 18. Makai Lemon goes to the Cowboys. Keldrick Falk to the Chicago Bears. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren to Cleveland. Peter Woods to Houston Texans. Max Iheanacho at 29, just before the Dolphins go. And Alf, I think the Dolphins could potentially take one of your guys, TJ Parker, right here. He's still available on the board at pick number 30. You have Blake Miller available, Caden McDonald, TJ Parker, Denzel Boston, Colton Hood, and KC Concepcion.
It's a spectacular board right here. I don't know if we're going to get any trade offers. I would not tempt fate here because Edge, I believe,
two trade offers.
But we can't get too far behind because I think Edge gets very thin here coming up soon. So I'd be inclined to take TJ Parker. I don't know what you're thinking. I love Colton Hood as well, but I like the corner board at this point. I don't like the edge board at this point. We take TJ Parker here. We have a hell of a start to the draft.
Mm-hmm. So you have number 34 with Arizona and number 35 with Tennessee. So essentially, you could risk the trade-off of TJ Parker being picked up by the Seattle Seahawks. Maybe even the New England Patriots could take him. They could convert him to a 3-4 linebacker.
Yeah, I'm completely out on either that. So I would just take TJ Parker here and be done with it.
TJ Parker. So your first round picks for the Dolphins are Vega Ione and TJ Parker. Really, really bolstering the trenches right here. And I'm inclined with that as well. All right, pick number 43, second round, KC Concepcion is gone to the Kansas City Chiefs. D'Angelo Pons is the last pick before the Dolphins select. Chris Bell is gone. Brandon Sissy to the Houston Texans at 38. Zion Young, 35 to the Tennessee Titans. Denzel Boston is a New York Jet. And here's where the board is, Alf. You've got Lee Hunter, Ty Simpson, Jacob Rodriguez, Chris Johnson, R. Mason Thomas, Chase Besantes, Jeremy Bernard, Keith Abney II, Gabe Jacas, AJ Halsey, Eli Stowers, Malachi Lawrence, and Keontae Scott available.
Look, we are in such good shape here. It's almost ridiculous. Like, I love AJ Halsey. I love Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy Bernard, I'm higher than most on Jeremy Bernard. Brazel's still on the board. I don't know what's available in trade. What pick is this? This is 43. This is our own.
Yeah, you have 6 trade offers. You have the Colts at 47, the Vikings at 49, Lions at 50.
49's too deep. 47, and what else can we get?
Let's see, 47, trading away 43. Let's see if we can get another third, 78. Won't be accepted. Maybe 113 at the top of the 5th.
Not interested.
87% chance.
Not interested. I think we're picking here.
You're picking here. All right. Let's debate. Let's debate it here because I'm actually interested in trading down to 47. If you were to pick at 43, who would you take?
Like, look, if we go player for player, I love Jacob Rodriguez, but he's not even my LB3. So I like Anthony Hill better than Jacob Rodriguez, and he already went.
Mm-hmm.
I love Chris Johnson. I think it's between look, we don't need a guard anymore. Chase Basantes is a hell of a prospect. We don't need a guard. Like we got a starter in Ione. I think it's between AJ Halsey, who I think is probably 1. I think Jeremy Bernard is 1B.
Mm-hmm.
Keontae Scott, we're just gonna. Keontae Scott would be the play if we trade down. But if not, then I think it's between Halsey, Bernard, and Chris Johnson.
I'll tell you what, Bernard is ranked number 49. Johnson is ranked number 46. Keontae Scott is ranked 55th. And Halsey is ranked 52. And I think if we trade down to 47 and pick up an extra 5th, we do tend to get an extra player, and one of those guys may end up falling in our laps. I say we try to trade down.
All right, let's do 47.
All right, let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Halsey is gone on the board, but you still have Chris Johnson, Jeremy Bernard, Keith Abney, Malachi Lawrence, and Keontae Scott.
All right, we're at 47. What's our next pick after 47?
The next pick after 47 is pick number 61, just the 4th last pick in the 2nd round.
Okay, we still got Skylar Bell. We still got Ted Hurst on the board.
Yeah, you also have Bryce Lance available on the board, too.
I think this is where we get Keontae Scott.
Okay. Over Chris Johnson.
Yes.
Why?
I think Keontae Scott's a better player than Chris Johnson at their respective position. I think Keontae Scott is a starter at the nickel right away. I think he's the best nickel in this draft.
I do think he's the best nickel in this draft. However, a lot of scouts have been saying Treydon Stukes is rated a bit higher on some teams' boards. Now, with Chris Johnson, you can play more so off coverage with him rather than press. And he can be a nice receiver.
Let's see the wide receiver board.
All right, you have Jeremy Bernard, Chris Brazil II, Skylar Bell, Bryce Lance, Antonio Williams.
Like, if they take those top 3, if those top 3 are gone before the 60s, we're picking again, what, 61st, you said?
61.
61. If those 3 are gone before 61, that's an issue. So
you don't like Bryce Lance at 61?
I'm wondering where Keontae Scott goes in this draft, and where Kilgore. Let's see the safety board.
Kilgore is actually rated as a cornerback, and he's around the 128 area.
Okay, that's odd by PFF. Let's go back to the main board again.
So again, Simpson, Chris Johnson, Basantes, Bernard, Abney, Jaka, Stowers, Lawrence, Scott, Bell at 60s, Treydon Stukes at 61, Bryce Lance at 62.
All right, Chris Johnson or Keontae Scott is the choice here.
I think I would more so go into Keontae Scott because he can be that hybrid, that big nickel, and can potentially also play safety and be interchangeable. I think in Hafley's system, you can get away with having weak boundary corners, and Hafley did tell, and what we've heard is that he likes to develop his outside corners, and his cover 3 scheme really, really helps out. I do think they'll be running a little bit more zone coverage rather than man. And if I'm inclined to say which player is better, especially at helping out and being a force player, that's going to be Keontae Scott over Chris Johnson.
Keontae Scott it is.
Keontae Scott is the pick at number 47. Here we go. We got a hurricane. All right. Bernard is gone. Brazil is gone. Skylar Bell and Bryce Lance are available at pick number 61 for the Dolphins. So let's talk this out. Talk this out. I have Bryce Lance over Skylar Bell in terms of intangibles and upside. Whereas Skylar Bell, Alf, I believe you have him over Bryce Lance.
Yes, I have Bryce
Why?
Lance more as a developmental guy, a Christian Watson guy. I think Skylar Bell is more of a finished product. I was thinking more in the third round to use two of those picks, target Ted Hurst with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I thought at least that Bryce Lance would be available in the top of the third round. It's looking like there's going to be a run on these wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well, I can tell you Ted Hurst is rated number 97, and with
so
these mocks
so
that
he,
I've been
he should
doing,
be available in the third round then,
he's
maybe.
usually available in the back end of the third round.
Okay.
For this
Now
mock's purpose, I'll say
now we're
this.
at 61. What's the tight end board looking like?
Tight end board is looking really good. Max Clare, Sam Roosh are available. Michael Trigg at number 3, Jolly at 4,
I guess
Andrews.
Delp already got taken.
Oscar Delp is actually rated really, really low by PFF.
Okay, PFF is making a mistake there.
Well,
Uh,
they did lay off almost most of their good staff, so
yeah.
we're
All
taking
right.
benefit. We're taking benefit in this mock right here.
Yeah. Okay. And what's on the tackle board?
On the tackle board, you have Tiernan, Markel Bell, Crownover, Casey, Parker,
Nah,
and
none of
Allen.
those guys. None of those guys are worthy of 61.
No, they are not.
Uh,
I will say Jadarian Price is available. You have Davison Igbinosun available. You have Kamari Ramsey. He's ranked 82, but I do think he's more of a third round guy. You have Josiah Trotter still available.
Anthony Hill is still on the board. What kind
Yep.
of insanity is that?
Anthony Hill
Okay.
is still on the board.
Oh, then it's a no brainer. You have to think Anthony Hill.
You would
Almost.
take Anthony Hill is ranked number 86. You don't think you could get a better player than him?
I think he's a better player than the guys that they have ranked ahead of him here. I don't know what PFF is
Better
doing
than
with these
Skylar Bell and Bryce Lance, in your opinion?
I think so because I think Skylar Bell is in the same bushel. Skylar Bell is in the same bundle, I think, as Ted Hurst, Malachi Fields. Like, Anthony Hill, I think, is a standout with what's on the
both
board.
You
here.
and Coach Smith, as obviously the other co-hosts of Scouting the Fins, have Anthony Hill Jr. ranked really, really high. But I have Josiah Trotter over Anthony Hill Jr. just because of his run defense skills is a little bit better in my opinion, and coverage instincts as well. And I do think he would be a better partner with Jordan Brooks alongside him rather than Anthony Hill Jr.
I think Anthony Hill is essentially a clone of Jordan Brooks. All right, let's go back to what's on the wide receiver board.
You have Bell, Lance, Williams, Surratt, Branch, Burks, and Hurst.
All right, your call. It's either the first of the two wide receivers we're going to leave this draft with.
Mm-hmm.
Jadarian Price is really good value here, but I think it's take your pick on the wide receiver because I think the second wide receiver we take will be in the third round. It'll be Ted Hurst.
Yeah. I think if you want a nuanced route runner, someone that can help Malik Willis immediately, that will be Skylar Bell. So we'll go ahead, Skylar Bell, and double dip in the third round for wide receiver. All right, we have Jadarian Price to the Seahawks. Bryce Lance is taken by the Titans. And Kamari Ramsey was picked up by the Chiefs at pick number 74.
All right, that's interesting that Mike Washington is there. Let's go to the linebacking board.
All right, linebacker board. You have Kyle Lewis.
We have our choice once again. What pick is this? This is 70?
75.
Yeah, this would be Anthony Hill. I fail to see how anybody's better. What's the safety board looking like?
Safety board. You have Genesis Smith, Zakee Weekly, Bud Clark, still available towards the back end of the third, early fourth. Kilgore is looking like an early fourth as well. You have Keelan Rutledge available, Max Clare, Romello Heights.
And what's that cornerback?
Junior at quarterback.
Cornerback.
You have Chandler Rivers, Devin Moore, Dalen Everett, Malik Muhammad.
All right, I like Devin Moore, but I think he's going to be Kilgore's still there too.
You like
Which is,
Devin Moore, really? Even with his injury concerns?
yeah, but he's not here, not with this pick. I
No.
like Kilgore a lot, but PFF is letting us take
Mhm.
him with our last third round pick, essentially.
And if you feel good too, you can also trade back and still get Anthony Hill Jr. here.
You
The
think?
Falcons at 79.
But now, at some point, we're going to have too many picks, and we're not going to be able to sign them all.
Hmm.
I think we've added enough picks that we're going to end up with what 13 picks.
Yeah. So we're gonna have one, two, three, four.
So I think we're done. We're done unless we're going to trade a pick later on in the draft for a pick next year.
Mm-hmm.
So this is either Anthony Hill or BPA. Even Mike Washington should be in play here, I think.
Really? Another running back? What do you think about Max Clare?
I'm not a big fan of either one of the Ohio State tight ends.
Interesting.
I kind of like Delp. I love Roush, but Roush is Roush there?
Yeah, Roush is there. He's like the perfect wide tight end for this offense.
I would take Roush here because tight end is thinner than linebacker at this point, I think. And I think we could get Anthony Hill a little bit later on.
I think so too. Let's go ahead and pick up Sam Roush at pick number 75. They get their blocker, they get their motion man, and Anthony Hill Jr. is gone. Taken by the Jacksonville Jaguars at pick number 81. And it looks like the Jaguars actually traded up to select Anthony Hill Jr.
To jump right in front of us.
To jump right in front of us. Mike Washington was taken by the Steelers at 85. Romello Hyatt was taken 78 by the Colts. And here is what the board is looking like. You have Devin Moore, Jalen Farmer, Everett, Slaughter. You have a lot of centers available. Garrett Nussmeier.
What's the defensive
Aller,
tackle? Ted Hurst is here, and it's pick 87.
Yeah.
What's the defensive tackle board looking like?
It's not looking good. I'll tell you that right now. You have Proctor at 111, potentially available. Dante Corleone available as well.
I think Proctor later on because he's 111.
Mm-hmm.
So I think let's just get Ted Hurst out of the way, I would say. If not, yeah, I would say let's get Ted Hurst out of the way here.
I would pick Ted Hurst here as well. Or if you wanted to double up on guard, you could pick up Jalen Farmer and have an absolute bully of an offensive line.
No, I'm fine with skipping out on guard. We already got a starter with our first pick. So
yeah. All right, here we go. Ted Hurst, welcome to Miami.
So we've taken care of wide receiver, the offensive line, and edge. And now we're here at 90.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now it's like BPA in my
opinion. Now we're completely BPA. Is Kilgore still around?
Yep, he's still around.
I would say let's lock him up and get that over with. So the secondary is going to get plenty of help.
All right, let's pick up Jalen Kilgore. You got safety on the board for Miami. You have a nickelback in Keontae Scott available. Now at pick number 94, you have the option to trade back to 96 and recruit maybe a future pick next year.
Let's use our picks. I think we're done trading picks here.
It's
we may dump a pick later on. We still have a 7th rounder, right? Because the 7th rounder is where we're going to go get our place kicker or our quarterback.
You have 2 7th rounders.
We could dump one of the 7th rounders, keep the one that's higher to take our place kicker or our quarterback. What's on the board right now?
Devin Moore, Farmer, Nuss, Logan Jones, Aller, Coleman.
What about Emil Wagner? Is he still on the board at tackle?
He is on the board at tackle. He's ranked 180, but I have Crownover, Parker, and Bowery over Wagner. And I think Jude Bowery was actually recruited by Jeff Halfley at Boston College as well.
Hmm.
And then Brian Parker has inside outside versatility as well. He's took some snaps at center at the Senior Bowl,
What
played right guard as well, and can play right tackle. He was primarily a right tackle at Duke.
and what's running back looking like right now?
Running back wise, you have Jonah Coleman available, Seth McGowan, Emmett Johnson, and Nick Singleton.
The only one I like there is Le'Veon Moss, and that's and they actually brought him in for a 30 visit.
They did, and he's available mid fifth round as well.
Okay, how many more third round picks do we have? We have
This is our
3
last
more?
third round pick.
This is our last third round pick.
This is our last third
So
round.
we're going to break right after this. I think the BPA is clearly Jalen Farmer, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the BPA is Jalen Farmer here. Or if you want to be smart about it, you could potentially trade away Jalen Wright for a future round pick next year and recoup and pick up Jonah Coleman.
No, I'm not.
No, I like that 1-2 punch with Achane and Coleman.
Hmm.
You could also get, Malik Muhammad as another cornerback here, really shore up that secondary for Jeff Halfley. You could also pick up Caleb Proctor.
Yeah, let's just get Caleb Proctor out of the way, and then
Yeah.
we'll go to break.
All right, the pick is in for Caleb Proctor. And now we will head to break.
The NBA playoffs are finally here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. I have been saying on all the shows this week, Jason Tatum higher on points in any of these games against the Sixers is just a terrible matchup for the 76ers. Tatum has already gone higher in the first game. He should go higher in the next 3 games as they complete a sweep. So download the app today and use the promo code 3yards to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's the promo code 3yards, the number 3 yards. Underdog, make picks, win money.
Be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
And we're back.
And we are back.
We both said it at the same time. So on the board, Alf, at number 13, we picked up Vega Ione. We traded back with the Rams to get another pick in the second round. We picked up Vega Ione at 13, TJ Parker at 30, traded back with Indianapolis at number 47 and picked up Keontae Scott. At number 61, we received, the Rams pick in that first round trade and picked up wide receiver Skylar Bell. All right, now starting off with our 4 third-round picks, we picked up tight end Sam Roosh as the Y tight end, the motion man, the blocker, and it's a nice 1-2 punch with him and Greg Dulcich at the tight end position. Double dipped at wide receiver, picking up Ted Hurst at number 87, and we got our guy Jalen Kilgore to play one of the safety positions for Jeff Halfley. And then we went BPA here based on what we thought could be a good player available, an asset to the Dolphins defense, and someone who can grow in Jeff Halfley's system, Caleb Proctor out of southeastern Louisiana.
All right, so let's move on here.
All right, at round 4, pick number 113, which we got from the Indianapolis Colts here. We've got a couple guys here on the board. We've got Drew Aller, Anthony Lucas, Carson Beck, Brennan Thompson, Bud Clark, Landon Robinson, Brian Parker II, and Jude Bowery as some players that are fits for both Bobby Slowick's offense and Jeff Hafley's defense.
Okay, go down this list.
I think I'm circling another safety here for Miami in Bud Clark.
Bud Clark, I would agree. They're pretty much devoid of safeties. We're building the team pretty good up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I like Bud Clark.
All right. Let's go ahead and lock Bud Clark in. The Dolphins now have two safeties in Bud Clark and Jalen Kilgore. Bud Clark is 6'2", 210 pounds. Jalen Kilgore is 6'0", 6'1", just a hair under 200. And both of these guys can play the run, can also play the back end, and are interchangeable. All right.
Okay.
Let's see who got off the board here already after Bud Clark. Alf, we got Will Lee off the board, Dante Corleone, Seth McGowan to the Patriots, Brian Parker to the Bills, Carson Beck as the backup to Jared Goff in Detroit. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Makes a little bit of sense. All right, let's go to the tackle board.
All right, in the tackle board, you've got Jude Bowery as the highest rated tackle. Can play right tackle, can play left tackle. Was obviously recruited by Jeff Hafley at Boston College.
And Emil Wagner is still there. So is Diego Pounds, who's a really nice player. What's our next pick?
151.
You think at 151 we could get Diego Pounds or Emil Wagner?
100%. I think so.
Okay, so what's BPA right now?
Right now, you've got Justin Jolly, Virgil McAllister, Bowery, Jacoby Lane, Emmett Johnson, Marlon Klein, Charles Demings. I mean, we do know he came in on a visit to the Dolphins. He's actually rated really, really high by PFF. And you don't necessarily have another cornerback besides Keontae Scott that you drafted. Demings is 6'1", I believe. Yeah, 6'1", 190, and 23 years old.
All right, what do we have right now? Put our picks again, our full draft.
All right. We got Ione, Parker, Scott, Bell.
Yeah, but let's see the third round guys that we got. We got Kilgore, Proctor. We got Bud Clark. 4 secondary guys. We're essentially just picking off each of the starters. I do like Demings a lot. And let's put the corner board.
All right. In the corner board, you have Demings, Devon Marshall, Efficience Prysock, and Julian Neal.
I like Julian Neal a lot too. What?
I like Julian Neal a lot too.
This is a rough board. There's a lot to like still on this board.
Yep. Let's take a look at running back. You've got Johnson, Singleton, Moss, Allen, and Claiborne available at running back. At quarterback, I don't think Klubnik is worth a fourth round at number 130. Then there's a huge drop-off of Jalen Daniels, Taylor Green, Cole Payton available. We already have a tight end in Rouge. You have, your starter at guard in Ione. Do you want to get another offense? Do you want to get an offensive tackle that could potentially be an Austin Jackson replacement or a swing tackle? That's where I'm leaning towards.
Let's stay here on the cornerbacks.
Okay.
What do you think of Efficience Prysock?
I think Tacario Davis would have been a better pick than Efficience Prysock. Obviously a long guy, not necessarily the best in run defense, but a 6'4" guy, 190 pounds, doesn't have the blazing speed. Tacario Davis is quick, but doesn't have that blazing speed. Efficience Prysock doesn't have the speed or the quickness to keep up as a boundary corner, in my opinion.
I think Julian Neal is another guy who fits their scheme as well.
Yeah, he does. it might feel like a reach right here, but 6'2", 208 pounds. Very physical guy. Can help out in run defense, and you have a big secondary room to keep up with potential Patriot AJ Brown, uh, the Jets wide receiver, and whoever the heck the Bills have at wide receiver as well. Big don't get small, but fast sometimes can run out. And Julian Neal is big, and he's fast, and he can tackle.
Julian Neal it is.
Julian Neal is the pick. All right.
And I think now, what are our remaining picks here?
All right, you've got 151, 227, and 238.
Okay, this pick here is important. Let's look at the running back board and see. Well, Le'Veon Moss is there.
He
Okay.
is.
All right.
Singleton, Austin
Right.
Barber as a swing tackle.
I would be interested in either Emil Wagner. Is he available now?
He is available.
Or Pounds, Diego Pounds.
Pounds is available too. I haven't done work on Diego Pounds. I'll tell you that.
Like I like either one, to be honest with you.
Is Pounds a swing tackle or is he a right tackle only?
I think he could play both sides. Emil Wagner is going to be a right tackle.
I mean, Austin Barber is also a swing tackle as well. 6'6", 315 pounds. He also has the footwork needed in the zone run, wide zone scheme as well. I think of those remaining three guys, he's the most mobile. If it were up to me as an offensive tackle, it would be between Barber or Wagner. But again, this is more so a depth signing, a backup signing right here, not so much a starter, a developmental guy.
I like Wagner better. If we're not going to take the tackle here, I like Wagner better.
We won't get a chance to have Wagner later on, so
yeah,
it'll have to be Wagner. You like Wagner over Le'Veon Moss?
Yeah, because running back we could get into the UDFA market. There's a bunch that I still like, but tackles
Wagner is the pick at 151, and now the Dolphins don't actually have a 6th-round pick here, so they're going to be waiting a while for their last 2 7.
And I think we go quarterback place kicker here with the last 2 picks.
Quarterback place kicker? You sure you want to draft a kicker?
We get the best one.
The best one? Who's the best kicker? Because I haven't done any.
I think I like Trace Mack. I like Trace Mack better than Zvada, but I like Trace Mack.
I'll have to take your word for it because I'm not so sure. But we'll have to talk about the quarterback options here because I'll tell you what, Jalen Daniels will be available. Taylon Green will definitely be available. And so will Cole Payton be available. Told you. These 3 guys are available.
And so is Sawyer Robertson.
So is Sawyer Robertson. And I think in terms of quarterback teaching, developmental, a guy who fits the system, I think you can make an argument, and I can make an argument for Cole Payton out of North Dakota State University. He exudes athleticism, just exudes potential to me. Make him sit a year, maybe 2, under Malik Willis and Quinn Ewers. He can learn the system, watch the games. He has the arm talent. He can run for sure. Why not try him and take a shot and see if you can develop a guy like that?
I think of the 4 guys. I think 4 guys should be considered here. Okay, and that's Sawyer Robertson. Sawyer Robertson is the most prototypical. Okay, and he's probably he is the most productive of the 4. Like he has the biggest numbers.
He would be the safest pick here too.
Right. Now, Cole Payton is the highest upside. Taylon Green's the best athlete, and Jalen Daniels is the one with the best makeup. So take your pick. I think it would go to the best athlete or the highest upside. So that would be Taylor Green versus Cole Payton.
And I think, and it depends because let's see, Malik Willis is what 6'1", just a hair under 6'2". Uh, he wasn't known for his accuracy, and neither is Taylor Green. Uh,
Mm.
Green
But
also didn't have the best options at
yeah,
Arkansas.
no,
In
that
the
was an awful
NFL, he
offense.
will, for sure.
And he has a 9.99 RAS, and you're
At a
taking that in the seventh
9.99
round.
RAS. What's Cole Payton's RAS? Do you know?
Nope, I don't
I
have
don't
it.
have it. Let me see if I can find it.
I actually do have it. I gotta open up this thing.
9.87 RAS.
Wow,
Yeah,
and he's the better player. So
and he's the better player. He's also a big body player. 4.56 40, 6'3", 232 pounds, 72% completion rate. And man, if we had picked up Bryce Lance instead of Skylar Bell, that would have been a really, really nice developmental duo to have and see in the preseason and really scout in person. Because that chemistry can be everything. We saw it with Twin Waddle. We saw it with Burrow and Chase. All right. We saw it with Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts. Not to say that Cole Payton and Bryce Lance are among those tiers, but it does help that chemistry between a quarterback and wide receiver duo.
Mhm.
I think for me it would be Cole Payton over Taylor Green. I don't think with what we have in Malik Willis and Quinn Ewers, I think it would be a waste of a pick and waste of and I don't think Taylor Green would get the development he would need and the opportunity he would need in Miami behind Ewers and Malik Willis.
Cole Payton versus Sawyer Robertson is a better debate, I think.
Okay, I made my choice for Cole
Cole
Payton.
Payton.
What's your? But I want to hear your side of the story with Sawyer Robertson.
Sawyer Robertson is just really the prototypical size. He has a better arm than Cole Payton. I can tell you that. He's really fast. He ran 4.6 something at 6'4", 225 pounds. So, but I think Cole Payton is the guy with the higher upside. Sawyer Robertson was really, really productive in high school out of Coronado and wasn't recruited to Texas Tech, which is weird because he played in Lubbock and he tore up Lubbock high school football. And for whatever reason, Texas Tech didn't want him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're telling you what they think of him as a prospect 3 years ago.
And I think Robertson's ceiling is already capped where Payton's is just getting started.
Let's go with Cole Payton.
Cole Payton, you are a Miami Dolphin.
All right. And with this last pick, let's go to running back to see if anything shook out for us.
All right. You have Tyrion Stewart, Rasul, Faison, Chip Trainium. Oh, Jamal Haynes, Jam Miller, Noah Whittington.
Okay, I got something that's interesting. Go to fullback.
Eli Heidenreich, right? He's gone. I can tell you that for sure.
Well, you got Nowinski.
Riley Nowakowski?
Yeah, Nowakowski. He could play H-back. He could play inline tight end.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I am actually thinking very differently here. I'm thinking of another high upside guy, played linebacker at USC, and I'm looking at Eric Gentry here. If you guys don't know who he is, look him up on Google and see if he resembles Gumby in a way. Okay, he's 6'6", under 230. 23 years, he'll be 23 by the time he's drafted, a little bit on the older side. Came out as a redshirt senior. I mean,
now here's the question: here's the question: how many special team snaps did he play this past year? Because whoever we take here has to play special teams.
Let's see. Let me take a look at it. don't have that on the top of my head, but I'm sure I can find it somewhere.
How about offensive tackle? See what offensive tackle is doing. Because if we're going to take a special teams player, I like Wesley Bissant from the
Mhm.
University of Miami. But what's
Here's your
offensive
offensive
tackle looking like?
tackle. You have Famo Trost. Okay, Trost is actually interesting over here. Because he's like outside of Spencer Fano, I feel like he is the next best perfect fit in Bobby Slowick's zone read scheme.
All right, so and we would be doubling up at tackle, and we would get
Mhm.
some competition here moving at
Yeah.
tackle. And this is a 7th round pick. He's probably BPA. I don't like the running backs. I like the UDFA class at running back better. I wanted to take a kicker as symbolism, but we could take one at UDFA, so it's not necessary. I would say Tross or look
Uh,
the other starter. We could take a starter here in Nowakowski. Like he would play for Miami. You know,
don't you already have a
like you're
guy
using you.
in Sam Roosh that can do that? A couple of other tight ends too that can also fulfill that H back role too.
Hmm, not like
Is that
Nowakowski. I don't think.
not like Nowakowski?
No, I don't think so. I think Roush is going to be more in line. He's gonna he's gonna he's gonna satisfy all the needs for 12 personnel and 11 personnel. To be honest with you, because I don't think Dulcich will play a lot in 11 personnel. I think Roush is better suited for that. But in 21 personnel,
Mhm.
you want to have the versatility to be able to play Dulcich in 21 personnel, and if you do that, you would need somebody like Nowakowski. Or you would just have to play Roush
So you're
at
saying
fullback.
you could do that. I
I
mean, a
think
6'5" guy blocking like that, he's got active hands. And in terms of fullback, they're not necessarily running out of I formation either because your guy is going to be moving. He's going to be your force player. He's coming out of that I formation. He's moving up the line, or he's going around the running back, or the ball is snapped and then he's motioning out.
now here's the thing: if this has a UDFA simulator, we could just get Nowakowski as a UDFA.
Mhm.
So I would say I would take Trust here. It's probably the safest pick.
All right. Really, really building that offensive line for Miami. I'll say that for sure. I think this is a pretty decent draft. What we got right here. You fill needs at safety. You fill needs at offensive line. You double dip at wide receiver. You went BPA in a defensive lineman that can really round out that defensive line unit and have a good enough rotation where guys are competing for snaps. And that's one thing John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley want. You want competition and see who rises to the occasion. Uh, with that defensive line, you have Kenneth Grant, Jordan Phillips, Zeke Biggers. I'm forgetting on another guy that played last year as well. He played a good amount of snaps. He was a free agent signing last year. You just picked up Caleb Proctor. On the edge of the room, you have TJ Parker, Chop Robinson, uh, Robert Beal Jr. Someone else was picked up in free agency too. Is not that big of a name, but someone who can possibly be productive. Who else am I blanking on, Alf?
Ojabo, did you say that?
Yeah, David Ojabo. He's got potential to be productive. That's your and obviously can't forget about Zach Sealer, right? I mean, this is a young defensive line group besides Zach Sealer, Alf.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then for linebacker, we didn't actually take a linebacker to pair up with Jordan Brooks. How do you feel about the linebackers in Miami's roster?
I like Jordan Brooks. I think Tyler Dotson's a band aid, but we couldn't get I think outside of the first 5 even on this board, their first 5, I didn't like what's behind it.
I think I think instead of Emil Wagner, we could have picked up Caleb Ilorms or out of TCU. He can work in coverage, can run defense, can also rush the passer. Played in a 3-3-5 type of defense at TCU, and he was more so the inside linebacker. So he could learn from Jordan Brooks, can also play off ball, rush the passer, handle the running back coverage assignments as well. I think that would have been a better pick over Emil Wagner.
Well, I can tell you this. First of all, as far as our defense functioning, I think Keontae Scott's essentially the linebacker that we took.
Mm.
You know, so he's going to be playing really close to the line of scrimmage. So yeah, we couldn't get Anthony Hill. You know, like it was pretty tight. If we couldn't get, unless we were going to take C.J. Allen at 29, or I mean at 30, where we took T.J. Parker, then we're not getting a guy who's going to affect the starting lineup. There's like maybe 3 guys here that in this entire draft that can push Tyrell Dodson for his starting spot.
Yeah.
So I think we could call it right here.
Yeah. You get 2 weapons. You get Skylar Bell and Ted Hurst. They're not necessarily big body, 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds guys. These are 6'1", 6'3", 185, 195 guys that can contort their body, that have exceptional route running skills, can really manipulate leverage, especially off the line if defensive backs are playing press on them. They know how to operate the in-breakers. They know how to operate the drags. They're really, really good at running posts as well. It can really, work the middle of the field, whereas you have Malik Washington and Tutu Atwell that can find the soft spots in zone coverage for Malik Willis for the wide receiver room. We talked a lot about Sam Roosh in that tight end position, but that safety room of Kilgore and Bud Clark, Alf, that is a very aggressive safety room, I will say.
Mm-hmm. No, I like what we did as far as the secondary. Like, that's a completely rebuilt secondary. 4 players you're adding to the secondary, and possibly 3 starters. I'm not sure that Julie Neal would start right away, but I'm pretty certain that Clark is going to play in big nickel. Kilgore starts, and Keontae Scott plays every snap all season at nickel. So I think you've helped that secondary considerably. And Julian Neal's a guy who maybe by mid-season takes a spot. And you got him in round 4. I really like what we did. Especially with our top 100 picks. Like, that's a good haul. We got nice players. And you're filling starters. Like, there's starters here. You gained a starter at guard, a starter at edge, a starter at nickel, a starter at wide receiver, a starter at tight end, essentially, because he's going to be the inline guy. Possibly even another starter at wide receiver in Ted Hurst. Caleb Proctor is going to be in the rotation. All of these guys are going to play. Kilgore has a chance to play in big nickel or start. Bud Clark, same thing. So it's either or. Emil Wagner is challenged by Keegan Trost. Maybe one gets cut. Maybe one gets put on the practice squad, and the other makes the roster as a swing. And Cole Payton is QB3. This is a good draft.
And it's how many picks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 picks.
Yes. So we added 2 on top of what they had before.
Yep. And this will fill out the roster nicely. That is our 7-round mock draft for the Miami Dolphins.
I'm happy with it.
I'm okay with it. I think we could have picked up 2 more force players. I think if we swapped out Wagner for someone else, and if we had traded back and gotten a future pick as well, made it 12 picks and then an additional future pick, or maybe 2, really, really rounds out this roster and what we already have and builds for next year's draft. All right.
Mhm.
I think we can call it. That is the Miami Dolphins 7-round mock draft brought to you by me and 3 yards per carries, Alfredo Arteaga. Stick with us here on the 3 yards per carry podcast network all throughout the week. We will have coverage on Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday afternoon on the 3 days of the 2026 NFL Draft, brought to you by Alf, CK, Simon, Kyle Krabs, myself, and Coach Smith. As always, y'all, go Fins.